king and queen of Eldoria were killed by Tyrus, the brother of Vagan, who then took over the kingdom. Princess Jane, Vagan's daughter, escapes into the forest. The goddess Elora tries 2 times to save the princess because of a challenge from the god Athra. Nadia, the goddess of evil, supported Tyrus. The princess found refuge with an old woman in the forest, whose son fell in love with her. Elora used a magic mirror to see who Tyrus's enemy was, and it showed Tyrus's wife. When time went backward, it revealed that Tyrus and Nickel were friends when they were young. Nickel is in love with Lewis, and Nickel introduces Lewis to Tyrus. Tyrus, mesmerized by Lewis's beauty. Tyrus takes Nickel with him to battle against a tribe and secretly killed him. And then Tyrus married Louise. And he said to Lewis, when we have a baby boy, you'll be the queen and I'll be the king of Eldoria. Then, he took Lewis to a secret place and showed her the royal scepter and crown of the dynasty. Tyrus approached Lewis, who was staring at the sword, scepter, and crown, and asked, "What are you looking at?" "This is the hereditary scepter, crown, in our dynasty." Louise asked him eagerly, "When will you wear this crown and become king?" Tyrus, mesmerized by her sweet voice, replied, "As soon as you give birth to our son, I'll become king the next day. Then you will be by my side as queen." He gently held her face and said, "I'll be the king of this country, and you'll be the queen." His eyes were burning with desire. "Okay, let's go," Tyrus said and walked outside. Louise started walking behind him. Louise was on his way to the tunnel, but her mind was planning about her next moves. At the end of the tunnel, Tyrus pushed a button near the wall and the door opened. Lewis's eyes widened as he saw how Tyrus opened and remembered it. After entering the temple through the stairs, Tyrus came out of the temple and started walking with Louise. When he came near the chariot, the charioteer bowed to Tyrus. After a moment of thought, Tyrus drew his sword and cut off the charioteer's head. The head and body fell to the ground. Louise angrily asked Tyrus, "Why did you kill him? What did he do wrong?" Tyrus, sheathing his sword, said, "The charioteer might question why we're here. There should be no room for thought. Only then will secrets remain secrets." Tyrus mounted the chariot and said, "I'll drive." He took the charioteer's seat and started driving along the bumpy road. As they rode, Louise, seated in the chariot, said to Tyrus in a soft voice, "Could you drop me off at home? I'll come back later to see my father." Tyrus told Louise, "Sure, I'll take you home now. I'll pick you up later this evening." The chariot left the rough jungle path and reached the main street, continuing its journey. Finally, it stopped at Louise's house. Louise was sitting alone in the garden, lost in thought. It seemed like she had something on her mind. When Halder arrived home, he went straight to the garden and asked Louise, "When did you arrive?" Louise replied, "I just got here." Then she said, "Please go and bring our relative, Dr. Kadamba." Worried, Halder asked, "Why, dear, are you still not feeling well?" Louise responded, "I'm fine. But please, go and get him right away," urging Halder. In a house far from town, the doctor picked herbs from his garden and put them in a pot. Steam was rising from the pot on the stove. After smelling its aroma, Dr. Kadamba was satisfied that the medicine was being prepared at the right process. Then Halder arrived home and said, "Louise sent me here to bring you. I will come if the queen calls. But the herbal medicine is cooking in the oven. I will leave this and come to your house immediately. You go." "I will come right away," he said to Halder. Immediately, Halder also left.